Hey everyone. A couple of people in their reflections mentioned the helpfulness of the video, the last video. So I thought I would do another one, ramping ourselves up for our conversations on Monday. So if you remember in our class last time, we wrapped up this idea of place value base 10. And we talked about the idea of having places for each of the units to exist. So the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, hundreds, thousands, so on and so forth. And then we mentioned that in order to be able to change from one place to another, we needed to have one number that's a unit cap. So once we go over that number, we have to make that unit exchange. So for example, let's say that I have 9 M&Ms. And with those 9 M&Ms, I go through, I roll a die, and I roll a 1. Okay. Now, what we talked about the last time is that in place value base 10, that 9 is that unit cap. And so once we go over that, the unit exchange has to happen. So I add an extra M&M. We have 10 of those, which goes above the unit cap. So what we end up having to do is we end up having to take all of those and we say, okay, we can actually exchange all of those for something in the next place, coming back to the idea of place value. So I'm going to take my eraser here, erase all of this, because we're making an exchange. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a different colored M&M here. Those 10 have now become this. Right. And so again, if we consider continuing on with place, and I'm going to draw this place a little bit further down, right? We had 9, which was in that place. But then when we added the next M&M, we did a unit exchange. We ended up with 0 ones and 1 10. So again, the number 10. And so that was the major focus of the end of class last week. And then once we wrapped that up, we started talking about base 4. And now we're into base 4 place value systems, or place value base 4. And the reason why we're switching up bases isn't just to be frustrating, maybe a little. I kid. The idea of place value base 4 is so that we're doing something in a brand new base, so that we can think about what is it like to experience, what is it like to experience sorry about the tech here, what it's like to experience learning this place value system when you like how you first learned it, except again, probably in a very different way. So again, when we got into started an account in base 4, we said, okay, in base 4, the unit cap is 3. So we only are dealing with the digits 0, 1, 2, 3. And we also made sure to note that so that we don't think we're in base 10, we add a little sub 4. And the only reason why that's there is to just let us know that we're not in base 10, because if we don't add that in there, everyone always assumes that we're in base 10. And those are the only digits that we have in place value base 4. I'm not going to call them ones, tens, and everything. I'm just going to add some places here. Okay. So we can look at it in terms of, okay, we have 1 M&M, 2 M&M, 3 M&Ms. If I roll, and I'm going to switch it up. No, let's start. I'll do an example in a bit. If I roll a 1, we've had a unit exchange just like what we did a second ago in base 10. So all of those become a unit exchange. And we end up with 0 in this place and 1 in that place. So then after 3 becomes 1 0 base 4. Let me do another example. So again, let's say that we have 3 M&Ms. And this time I roll 2. This is what we have. And so we have these, which are going to have us create somewhat of a unit exchange. And then again, I'm going to pick a different color. Have that. And this is what we're left with. So in that particular case, we have 1, 1, base 4. And then we keep adding up 1, 2, 1, 3. Remember, 3 is the unit cap. So then we go 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, and 3, 3 base 4 gets interesting. Because again, if we add one more M&M to that, we have a couple of unit exchanges that have to happen, right? So if we add 1 to that, this becomes a 0 because we do the unit exchange, but then we're adding 1 to the second set as well. So that becomes a 0, and we enter into a brand new place, and that becomes 1, 0, 0 base 4. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take all of that knowledge of place value, of base systems, and we're going to do some more counting coming up in the upcoming week. Not only are we going to do some counting, we're going to get into the addition and subtraction of these concepts as well. And so I'm excited to dive into that with you. Maybe try a little bit of base for counting before you come, and even maybe have some ideas of what does it mean to add these together? What are ways that we can do that? What do we need to privilege to get there? And then as always, send me an email, ask some questions, talk to others, set up a time to meet with me, and we'll dive into it on Monday. Hope you all are having a great week.